No freaking way. I really couldn't believe it first either. But President Trump, he just did what no president has dared to do in modern history, guys. He just declared all-out war on federal judges who have been quietly pulling the strings behind the scenes, guys. The ones no one's supposed to touch. This is what he's doing. Now, I'm talking about the Judicial Conference, the administrative office, and even Chief Justice John Roberts himself. President Trump, he's finally taken the gloves off, guys. And this isn't just some legal squabble. It's a lot bigger than that. This is the beginning of a full-blown constitutional showdown. And if Trump wins this thing, guys, the entire federal court system, it could be brought back under Trump's control. And so this would mean no more rogue judges blocking immigration policy, no more activist rulings and undermining America First policies, and no more deep state legal games keeping your vote from actually meaning something, guys. But here's the kicker. This lawsuit, it exposes a secret that could shake the very foundation of our government. So in a second, I want to share with you guys why this group of judges who were never even elected by me and you have been able to override presidential powers for years, and how President Trump's team is moving to shut it down for good. So you're going to want to listen to this, because if this lawsuit succeeds, it doesn't just change our courts, it actually changes America forever. So let's break it down. If you guys appreciate the daily news updates, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Guys, we're going to talk about why this really matters. All right. So let's dive into what actually happened, because this wasn't just some random press conference. This was a legal bomb detonated in the heart of the most protected corner of our government. All right. So last night, the America First legal group, they, founded by President Trump's top advisor, Stephen Miller, he filed a lawsuit that's unlike anything that we've seen before. They didn't go after Congress. They didn't go after the DOJ. They targeted directly the Judicial Conference of the United States, the administrative powerhouse that's behind the entire federal court system, and the administrative court, or the administrative office of the U.S. courts itself. Now think about it like this, right? And by the way, today is, it's after midnight. It is May 7th. Today's day is Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. Everybody just say happy hump day in the comments, please. It's been a long one already. Anyway, and comment down below if you're watching this at night, what time is it for you guys? Because it's after midnight for me. Anyway, for years, we have seen these judicial bureaucrats just silently shaping national policy without a single vote from the American people. Is that okay with you? Like, these judges just doing whatever the freak they want to do. And now Trump is done playing you got office and defense, right? Trump's been playing defense for the longest. He's done with that. This particular lawsuit is a direct assault on that hidden infrastructure, an attempt to pull it out of the shadows and bring it back under the presidential control where he says it always belonged. And we're just getting started, guys, because to really understand like how massive this move is, you really got to understand exactly who Trump is going after here. So what is this Judicial Conference exactly, right? Well, most people haven't even heard about it. And that's the point. It's a behind the scenes body of government led by Chief Justice John Roberts, and it's comprised of 13 chief circuit judges. You got a district court judge from every region, and even the chief judge of the Court of International Trades in this thing. Now, on paper, they're just administrators, right? But in reality, this group decides how the entire federal court system operates, how it rules, procedures, budgets, and policy guidance. Here's the catch, though. They're not accountable to the president, and they're definitely not accountable to voters. So they can just pretty much be rogue and do whatever they want to do, or be manipulated by whoever is in control behind them, right? And so, and yet they set this policy. They set policy that can delay or even derail any executive order, especially if they don't like who's in the White House. Do you guys see why this is a problem? Type yes in the comments down below if you guys are tracking, okay? That's why President Trump's allies are calling this group untouchable. For decades, presidents have avoided going after the Judicial Conference out of fear that it would likely trigger a constitutional crisis. But now Trump's saying, hey, bring it on. And of course, I'm going to share with you guys exactly why Trump's team is saying that these judges have become more powerful than the commander in chief himself, and how they've been hijacking executive authority in broad daylight with zero consequences. So let's be real. You don't need fluff, guys. You need facts. Fact, picking the wrong Medicare plan, it can cost you hundreds of dollars a year. Chapter, it looks at every single plan to help you avoid that. Fact, it's 100% free, like no cost. And people who actually know what they're doing are answering the phones at Chapter right now. They're helping people left and right save money every single day. Like Julie in Kansas, she's already saving $400 a year. Jamie in Texas got back $600 into her Social Security. I want to ask you real quick, what would you do with an extra $600? Let me know in the comments. Don't gamble on Medicare. Get the plan that works for you. So I'll leave a number for you guys in the description down below, as well as a link to their website, but I'll put it on the screen too. You can give them a call at 909-563-8279, or you can visit them on the web at askchapter.org/Ron. Super friendly, super free. See how much money you can save. And as a matter of fact, comment back on the next video or back on this video if you don't mind. Let me know how much you were able to save. How much money was Chapter able to save from you? Let's get a community conversation going here. So now let's talk about these rogue judges for a second, right? These rogue judges, they're blocking national security, okay? They're hijacking border policy. And more importantly, why this lawsuit could change the balance of power in America forever, guys. So this is where things get really wild. Trump's legal team is accusing individual federal judges, yes, single district judges, of acting like shadow presidents. Now think about this. On the Supreme Court, it takes 5 judges to change federal policy, right? But under the current system, the lower court judge, out of more than 700 across the country, they can single-handedly block a national executive order. And it's been happening over and over again, guys. Whether it's immigration policy or national security measures or regulatory reforms, Trump's agenda has been stalled by these unelected judges issuing nationwide injunctions. Now, you tell me, just type in stop in the comments down below if you think that these judges need to be stopped, these rogue judges, because these are people you didn't vote for. I didn't vote for them. Did you vote for them? And yet they've acted like they outrank the president of the United States. Does anybody see a problem with this? Now, Stephen Miller, he put it perfectly. He said that this practice is a direct assault on democracy. You want to talk about a threat to democracy? It's these rogue judges, right? Is it Trump? Is Trump really the threat to democracy, guys? Because it turns the federal bench into like a political weapon here, not some neutral court of law. And here is the worst part. These judges, they're not just reacting to Trump. They've been trained and incentivized to resist him at every turn. Which kind of leads us directly into the next thing we need to talk about, because Trump's team is saying that these judges they're not even operating under the branch of government that they claim to be a part of. Now, according to the America First legal group, the Judicial Conference and Administrative Office, they're executing law. They're performing executive branch functions, but they're cloaked in judicial robes to avoid accountability. So in other words, they're acting like they're administrators. They're controlling how law is enforced across the country. But because they're technically judicial, they're protected from the oversight that would normally apply to executive agencies. Well, guess what? Trump and his administration, they're pretty freaking smart. I think this 4 years off when Trump's election was stolen from him, they had a lot of time to sit down and strategize. Well, guess what? Trump's lawsuit is calling this out head on. Okay. He is essentially demanding that any institution carry out executive responsibilities. Any institution that's carrying out executive responsibilities, they have to be brought back under presidential authority, which it's really where it belongs under the Constitution. And if the court agrees, it could shatter the legal firewall that's been protecting these judicial bureaucrats for decades. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is bigger than Trump. This is a test of who's really running the government: the people's elected leader, the president, or some permanent unelected activist elite hiding behind legal jargon, a black robe, and lifetime appointments. You know what I'm saying here, guys? So, of course, we need to talk about how this so-called legal firewall even became a fortress for political warfare. And why is Trump calling it pure judicial tyranny? We need to talk about that, guys. So what Trump's team is exposing right here, right now, isn't just bureaucracy gone wild. They're calling it judicial tyranny. And make no mistake, this is a phrase that is being used intentionally, because what's happening here in the courts, it's not neutral. It's not passive. It's not fair. It's been weaponized. And they call it lawfare, a term that means using the courts as a political weapon. Instead of lawmakers fighting in Congress, instead of presidents signing executive orders, you got radical activists out here who have learned how to file lawsuits, manipulate sympathetic judges, and just basically stop everything from the bench. That's not democracy. This is slow motion sabotage. This is cloaked in legal robes and judicial immaturity. So Trump's team is saying, hey, look, the federal bench under the leadership of Chief Justice John Roberts, it's become a hyper-partisan playground here, stacked in favor of globalist interests and progressive caucuses. So while Americans are out here begging for border control, economic protection, and national sovereignty, you got these judges over here, right? They're busy issuing rulings that protect the cartels, and they delay the deportations. They kill the pro-worker reforms. This is not obstruction. This is opposition disguised as order. And this really kind of brings us to the real enemy that Trump is identifying in this lawsuit. So according to Trump and the America First legal team, this isn't just a rogue court system. This is the judicial arm of the deep state. Pause. Let that sink in, right? This is the same entrenched power broker who weaponized the intelligence agencies, right? CIA, FBI, right? Possibly the NSA. The same unelected officials who steered foreign policy without oversight. They're now using judges to carry out their final line of defense against America First. That's the level of desperation that the Dems are at. These judges, they argue that, they've been captured, not literally, but ideologically, right? Captured by these globalist priorities, by woke academic legal theory, and by an absolute refusal to allow elected leaders to actually govern. So Trump and his camp, they're saying, hey, look, this anti-worker, anti-family, anti-sovereignty, all that has to go, right? And the only way it's going to end is to break the illusion that these judges are impartial. Because as long as the American people keep believing that robes mean righteousness, the deep state keeps getting to operate without any kind of resistance. And that illusion is crumbling. And this lawsuit, it could be the very first real hammer swing to knock it all down. And so, we're going to get into what could actually happen if Trump wins his lawsuit, right? I want you guys to see how this could transform the entire federal court system and actually give the presidency back to the powers that it was actually meant to have. So let's talk brass tacks here. Like, what happens if this lawsuit works? If Trump's legal team succeeds, it would actually bring the judicial conference and the administrative office back under presidential authority. And so, guys, this means that the executive branch, not unelected judges, they would actually regain control over the bureaucratic machinery that ultimately governs how the federal courts operate. So think about it, right? There would be no more activist judges weaponizing obscure procedures to delay policy. There would be no more hiding executive power behind the black robes of judicial independence. There would be no more backroom legal rulings that are derailing immigration, tax reform, or deregulation, right? So this lawsuit would put limits on what federal judges can block, especially when it comes to nationwide policies. The ripple effects would be massive. I mean, we're talking about a fundamental realignment of how power is divided between the branches of government. This is something we haven't seen in over a century. And so, of course, this kind of leads to the bigger reason why this move is being framed not just as a lawsuit, but as a war. Now, make no mistake, guys, Trump, he's not filing this lawsuit like it's a legal debate. He's treating it as a battle for the soul of American government. Because if you look back, he's already taken on corporate media, right? I think he sued ABC, right? Didn't he sue ABC, intel agencies, the globalist trade machine, even the IRS? But through it all, one force has remained untouched: the federal judiciary. That is until now. So this is the final battleground, folks. We're only a little over 100 days into Trump's presidency, and look what all is going on right now, right? The courtroom isn't just, and by the way, for those of y'all just joining the live, please take a second and hit the like button for the video. You might want to catch this from the very beginning if you're just joining in now, kind of missing out on everything, because we covered a lot already. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate our growing community here. But guys, this courtroom isn't just a place for trials anymore. This is where national policy is being born, blocked, buried, right? This is the deep state for you guys. And for years, Trump's policies on the border, on energy, on law and order, they have died in those same courtrooms. And so now he's doing what no other leader would dare to do. He's calling out the court system itself. Who thought of that? Like, who would have thought of that, right? And make no mistake, guys, this could define his entire legacy. But it could also define yours, right? Because what's at stake here isn't just presidential power. This is whether or not the people's votes actually matter when these unelected judges get to override at will. So, of course, we need to talk about Trump's claim that he's carrying out a mandate directly from the American people, and how this lawsuit is actually being seen as a fight to restore our voice in government. Comment down below if if you feel like your voice needs to be restored in government. Just type in restore, guys. So let's cut to the heart of this issue here. This is not just about Donald Trump, okay? Don't let the mainstream media fool you. This is about you and whether your vote actually counts in America anymore. See, Trump's not just fighting for executive authority. He's actually saying he was given a clear mandate by the American people to enact policies that put you first. Border security, economic protections, energy independence, law and order, right? Drop a 47 in the comments down below if you support Trump and his efforts here, guys. I want to see what kind of support we're getting out here in YouTube land. But time and time again, unelected judges, they've stepped away, they've stepped in and said, hey, look, nope, we'll decide what America looks like, not the voters. That's what they're doing. These are not checks and balances anymore. These are chokeholds, and this is a chokehold on democracy, right? Yes or no, guys? So what Trump's lawsuit represents is, at least, I think it's a move to restore power to the people by taking it back from the unaccountable elites that are wearing these robes and seemingly having endless bounds of power. It's not anti-justice. It's not anti-law. Don't let the news lie to you guys, okay? I know some people are still watching CNN. They're watching ABC, CBS News, MSDNC. I know. So it's not anti-justice. It's not anti-law. It's pro-constitution. It's pro-voter. It is pro-accountability. And if he can pull this thing off, if this lawsuit succeeds, guys, if this lawsuit succeeds, the age of rogue judges deciding immigration policy from the bench is over, okay? The days of obscure legal bodies hiding in the shadows, overriding elected officials, done. Trump's lawsuit, it was set a legal precedent, one that could echo for generations. So it's going to be real interesting to watch this thing unfold. Presidents would finally be able to execute the will of the people without judicial sabotage. Future courts would be able to, future courts would be limited in their power to interfere with national policy. The balance of power, and a lot of people have been hitting me up. How is a court able to tell the president what to do? How is a judge able to stop some freaking judge wearing a black robe able to stop the president? It doesn't make any sense. And no one voted for that guy. Hey, right? The balance of power between the branches could be restored to what the founders intended. This isn't just about Trump, guys. This is about the future of American self-governance. So yes, the title was right. No way. Trump just declared war on America's most untouchable judges. And depending on how this plays out, he might win. Comment down below. Just drop a win in the comments down below. Put a win 47 if you think Trump can win this thing. Because, he's going up against Goliath, right? So I want to know what you guys think. Is this lawsuit long overdue? Should unelected judges have the power to override the people's voice? Please, guys, if you have not shared your thoughts, I want to hear from you right now. I want to look through these comments. Should unelected judges have the power to override the people's voice? Because that's what they're doing when they're overriding Trump's executive orders, right? Or is this fight too dangerous to touch? Do you think they might try to take out Trump? Drop a comment, guys. I'm going to read every one of them. And if you want more updates on how this unfolds, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. Oh, and make sure you save yourself some money. Whether you're saving yourself some money, your mom, your grandmother, your grandparents, give our friends over at Chapter a call and see how much they can save you or your parents or your grandparents. I'm pretty sure, almost anybody, I don't care how well you're doing financially, could probably benefit from, extra $800 a year. Every year. Wouldn't that be nice? I'm just saying, see what they can do for you guys. I'll leave a link in the description down below, phone number and all that. I've also got some exclusive content on my new Patreon channel, the new Patreon page. There's a link down there for that as well, where we, dig deeper into these stories. So just check the pinned comment down below. Anyway, guys, appreciate you guys checking out the Ron Yates Show. And if you care about the Constitution, the truth, and your voice, I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Hey, by the way, guys, if you're one of the real ones who really enjoy what we do here on the channel, you've got to check out the Inner Circle. This is where our true supporters get exclusive access to content that I just can't share here, completely commercial free. It's also the best way to keep this channel going strong. So if you want to be a part of something special, join us over there. Links in the description or in the pinned comment down below.